You doing? We have a fantastic week ahead after some welcome rain chances exit by around sunrise tomorrow. It's just going to be a fantastic September week. I want you to get mentally ready to call in as many sick days as possible. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergain.com, and my latest forecast is right here at CWG.news/latest. Hello, Peter. Thanks so much for tuning in from Facebook. I'm live on Twitter and YouTube as well. And these welcome rain chances, again, showers and storms, the waves of them move through the nighttime hours, even into the early morning hours. We could have a couple sprinkles even as late as sunrise, very early tomorrow, but it clears very quickly and sets us up for a fantastic work week. I mean, this weather is just stellar that's coming our way, like right about average for this point in September. Low dew points. I can't say enough good about it. Let me make sure that I show you the dew point scale is going to be under control. And wow, upper 70s to low 80s in our animation for Monday. Here's Tuesday. We're going to go through Saturday here. Warms up a little bit this week, but again, 50s for dew points, maybe as low as 50 degrees for a dew point on Tuesday. That's extremely dry for our area of the world, for September anyway. We're going to, of course, get much drier as we go into winter, but the dry and pleasant feeling, the crisp, almost autumnal air, especially with breezes tomorrow, which could gust up from the out of the northwest, maybe near 25 miles per hour a couple times. Really could be kind of, give us those fall feelings, but I don't think many of us are going to complain with ample sunshine. David, good evening. Mike, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Love to see the rain, David. I agree. And Tara, you're loving it so much. I'm glad you are. That's fantastic. And we've got first snow, Preston. I'm going to go later December, but we'll have more on our winter outlook as we get closer to, I think, roughly the Thanksgiving time frame. And Carol, you're loving the weather. I'm going to tell you it's going to be great for your birthday on Thursday. And even, look at this, if I do the rainfall for tonight, that's welcome. We have a kind of gap around I-95, so a little bit more expected west and east, a little bit of an I-95 split. We sometimes give nicknames to those things. But if you're looking for kind of a rain-free week, work week, or birthday on Thursday like Carol needs, you're going to have a great. But here at the end of the animation, which I kind of move fast through the next 6 days, our next rain chances really aren't until maybe very late Friday into early Saturday, if we do see a storm system kind of slowly move up the coast. Can't rule out showers at the end of the week, but Erin from YouTube says it's her favorite weather. Preston, good evening. And David's got the AC off and the windows open. It's totally getting back, especially by tomorrow night, we'll get even drier, more comfortable. Preston's hoping for a white Christmas this year. We'll keep you posted in our winter outlook at capitalweathergang.com as we get closer to Thanksgiving. Carol's saying, yay, fantastic, you're most welcome. And Lewis, hurricane season ends on November 30th. Let's go ahead and skip to the tropical update since I do have that ready for you guys. I know often we want to talk about this on our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Very active, retiring Lee, that's post-tropical. Margot is now post-tropical. Nigel is out there and expected to stay out to sea, but in a couple days it could strengthen to a major hurricane. Luckily, a shipping concern and not going to impact land as it looks now. Ophelia is the next name on our list. If we do see this orange shaded region, which means a moderate 40 to 60% chance of developing a disturbance in this area over the next 7 days or so, if it develops into a tropical storm, it would be Ophelia. So Rick, here are the tropics for you. Still a little bit active. We're past the September 10th peak. That's typical for hurricane season peak activity. But there's usually another bump kind of early to mid-October in like another little bump up in activity. And then we can hopefully trail off, as Lewis was asking, toward the end of hurricane season, which is November 30th. Hopefully we end it there and don't have any December disturbances, which happen every now and then. But yep, Kenny's got rain all day in Martinsburg. Rick, you're most welcome. And David, a lot is happening weather-wise this week, for temperatures being super pleasant. I cannot emphasize that enough. Welcome rain chances. We do need this rain, but they exit very late tonight, early tomorrow. We clear off, and it's not only like a great Monday late morning onward, but we kind of continue with only a couple shower chances near the end of the week. our next rain chances really might wait until Saturday, maybe very late Friday into Saturday. So gardeners and farmers, I want you just to really be mindful in your watering this week if you still have some crops or plants out in the garden. But overall, we're looking pretty darn spectacular. Please get outside for those long lunches this week. The temperature regime, epically pretty much perfect. I could not be happier that as we get into this part of September, where average highs start floating around the 80-degree mark, it is looking nicer and nicer. So thank goodness we're not skipping over this part of the year with average temperatures, because I love this temperature regime. I know many of you all do as well. All right, we've got, let's see, David, the alternate list for the tropics. I don't think we're going to get through it, the main list of the named storms for this point in the year. And we've got Paul, Caribbean cruise starting next Saturday. I think you'll be okay, but do keep an eye as we trail off hurricane season. Keep an eye on the tropics while you're there. And Tyler, definitely looking and feeling like fall. Enjoy those northwesterly breezes tomorrow. They could gust up maybe near 25 miles per hour a couple times, but the dew points are super comfortable, like maybe as low as 50 degrees around Tuesday. So here's the welcome rain chances that are pulling out tonight. A little bit of a split here along I-95. A little bit more rain west of 95, a little bit more rain again east of 95. A little bit of a lighter amount there along I-95, but at least it's not nothing. And this should stop our rainfall deficit and our drought from really expanding or getting worse in the coming week. But luckily the sun is getting lower and evapotranspiration getting a little lower at this point in September. But here's the animation for precipitation this upcoming week. I made it pretty fast to show you how many days are looking dry. After early tomorrow morning, our final pieces of rain move out. We maybe have a shower again late week, maybe a chance of a shower, but the next real kind of measurable, meaningful rain could wait until very late Friday into early Saturday. Overall amounts, maybe another half inch come late Friday into Saturday. And this the next 7 days, and this includes the rough half inch that we're seeing tonight into early tomorrow in the pre-dawn hours. Now, I've got the next aspect for you is to make sure you're following us on our social media channels at Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also go to CWG.news/X. That link also works, but my latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. That takes you directly to my PM update right here, highlighting welcome rain chances are super great through tonight, but we turn into just a comfortable, dry, really awesome, even though breezy. I like the breezes this time of year, especially if we get high temperatures, mid-70s to near 80 degrees. It's going to be pretty much a 10 out of 10 tomorrow. We'll see what our head editor, Jason Samanal, rates tomorrow as well. Yep, averages now right around 80 degrees, and David wants to look ahead. Let's check it out. So here's looking ahead into next week, kind of 8 to 14 days from now. Precipitation, the good news for gardeners and farmers, it does lean with slight probability of being above average. So hopefully we can, doubtful we'll end our droughts or rainfall deficit, but this is good news of keeping things from getting worse. We don't want to see drier than average conditions projected, so that's some good news. Now, our heat tracker, we're getting toward our last possible 90-degree days on average. Yes, October has seen some 90-degree days, but it's getting harder and harder, statistically speaking, as our averages continue to go below 80 degrees as we head into the end of September. It's going to be harder, even when you see a map like this with the moderate orange coloring, indicating a moderate probability of leaning above average for temperatures next week. All it takes is maybe warm overnight lows, and we don't really have super hot high temperatures in the middle of the day and the late afternoon. So it's hard to say the specifics of next week where the warmth will be overnight lows versus afternoon highs, but I wanted to show you, don't put away the shorts yet. Don't unpack all the sweaters just yet. It won't feel fully autumnal just yet. That's kind of my general feeling when I look at a map like this. But there's a moderate probability of above average temperatures next week. And I still have decent doubt that we'll add more anytime soon to our heat counter, which still stands at 32 days at or above 90 degrees so far this year. Rain, Kareem, stopping tomorrow morning a little bit after sunrise. Honestly, most of us should stop around 3 or 4 a.m. this upcoming morning. But east of town could just favor some sprinkles toward as late as 7 a.m., maybe 8 a.m. But I think we'll see like a switch flip by 8:30, 9:30, typical morning commute times. I think we'll see skies clear very quickly. The sun really established itself very quickly tomorrow morning. And breezes ramp up, dew points ramp down. So comfort, and a little bit of fall feels tomorrow as well. Janet, hello. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. All right, I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Let me know if you have any questions or comments as we look ahead toward the forecasts and other pieces of what's coming up this week. Here's the next 7 days in the tropical Atlantic. Only one area with moderate probability here in the orange that may develop in the next 7 days in the tropical Atlantic. The next name, if it does become a tropical storm, it would be named Ophelia. And I think David was asking, will we get to the next supplemental list? Gosh, Ardney? No, I haven't memorized that yet. It's got some cool names from the World Meteorological Organization, the WMO. But instead of Greek letters, I think in 2021 they decided to have an alternate backup list for Atlantic and Pacific, Eastern Pacific hurricane names, tropical and hurricane names. So I don't think yet that we'll get through this last row, this last column of names, but there is a backup list that's not Greek names anymore. So anyway, Ophelia will be our next named potential storm. All right, so let's see. Here's the sunset time, our social media channels, and a pollen check for my fellow allergy sufferers, mold, and weeds. I'm sure you're feeling it like I am, but being before the equinox here in the summer, technically, we are still seeing over 12 hours of day length between sunrise and sunset. And of course, follow us on all 3 of our social media channels. You can also go to the newly named X, CWG.news/X. That should also work for you as well. And no more humidity, Lisa. We are luckily keeping our dew points in the 50s all week. Let me show you a nice animation of our temperatures right here. And it's with our dew point scale that indicates we want the dew point scale right there. So we should see 50s, especially later tomorrow. It's going to start getting comfortable thanks to these northwesterly breezes tomorrow, maybe gusting 20, maybe once near 25 miles per hour. We should see that drier air really filter in tomorrow. It's going to feel fantastic, and I can't emphasize enough. Even Tuesday, we could see dew points bottom out around 50 degrees, which is super dry, super pleasant. Take that long lunch, call in sick, or do those errands outside. Don't forget that sunscreen, though, midday this time of year. Still want you to remember cooler temperatures don't mean lower UV. So ultraviolet rays can still burn you this time of year, especially midday. All right, Kareem, it is perfect. Thank you. You're welcome. Glad that you are okay with that commuting time with the rain ending tomorrow. And yep, average daily highs do go down pretty quickly, Tyler. That's a really good point. Sometimes, 2 to 3 degrees a week. Our solar energy is rapidly being depleted as well as we get those shorter and shorter days. Very quickly, we're losing day length as well. And from 12 hours and 23 minutes, we'll quickly get toward the 12-hour mark as the equinox approaches. So it's very concomitant, very correlative on how we lose solar energy. The sun's infrared, the sun's warmth, we're losing that very quickly, and we're going to lose, average high temperatures and day length all at the same time at this point in the year. Yep, David, some of the Greek names were indeed retired in the tropics. And let's see, Anne. Let's see, you want to see some good weather in Baltimore? You should have it this week. And David's supplemental list will, once we exhaust the current list in the tropics, we then go to the supplemental list from the WMO. And yeah, Lisa says call in sick sounds good to her. And Paul, you're most welcome. Cruise forecast looks okay. I just keep one eye on the tropics, check in every day just to make sure, because even through November, the Caribbean can be active in the Gulf of Mexico, kind of what we call homegrown, closer to North American U.S. shores is where some of the typical development areas are by late October into November. But if you're going next week, I think you'll be okay. Not going to say don't pay attention to the tropics, but just, you know what I'm saying. All right, yep, signing my sick note, David. I'm happy to do that for you when the temperature regime is upper 70s to low 80s for much of this week and dry dew points. It's going to be fantastic. Welcome rainfall is going to take a little bit of a gap there, but still, not nothing along the I-95 corridor, thereabouts. A little bit more may fall to the east tonight, a little bit more may fall to the west. So these are welcome rain chances, and it's not zero even in the lighter areas of rainfall. That's good news. Should help us keep our drought from getting worse. I'm not going to optimistically say it'll get better, but we do have few to no rain chances for this whole work week. That's kind of great weather for us every day, getting outside, outdoor plans. That's pretty cool. But we know we need some rain in many parts of the region, especially west of DC. So this quick animation takes you through a very boring, dry week, right? And then look at the end of maybe late Friday into early Saturday, we start seeing a storm system potentially moving close to us off the coast. It does not look tropical or anything. It's associated with the cold front as it appears now, but I just want you to kind of realize you need to, if you're a gardener or farmer, you're going to really want to be mindfully watering this week as well. All right, I'm on air another 4 minutes. Let me know if you have any questions as we keep looking ahead. Rainfall in the next 7 days, maybe adding not only a half inch from tonight's rainfall, then another half inch late Friday into Saturday. Totals hopefully getting near an inch by the time you talk to me for our next Sunday, weekly Sunday sunset chat. And here's my latest forecast at CWG.news/latest, BM update. There for you on the blog anytime, 24/7. We're at capitalweathergang.com. I'm on Facebook, X, YouTube right now. You can also go to CWG.news/X. And we've got Donna looking good for weather in Iowa. And Lisa, loving the sound of rain today. I love it too. We'll take boring Lisa, me too. It's going to be fantastic temperature regime this week and comfortable air and not humid. Nonstop day. I think you need that. And Charlene saying in central Pennsylvania, the gardeners are enjoying that. Alex, let's see. Rain coming in for the weekend. I'm sorry, but we need it. You're right. Could be a little more polite. Could come at a better time, right? Let's see. Fall foliage forecast, Janet. That's great. Sometimes I will warn you, downtown foliage peaks can wait as late as November. We've seen during, with our warming climate, but we'll start. I think I've seen a couple small reports even in New England coming out in the last week, but getting toward the mid-Atlantic, let's say by early October, we'll start giving you some foliage updates. I think that's a good note for me to make. All right, I know, David, the 20 minutes does go quickly. I'm only on the air another 3 minutes. It's crazy. All right, and we've got Kareem. The lows this week should stay maybe upper 40s, low 50s at coolest. But you want more 40s typically. You probably have to wait, I think, closer to very late September into early October. And I would recommend being north and west of town and higher elevation as well. Rebecca, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And Janet, you're most welcome. Thanks also for tuning in. I'm on Twitter, X, YouTube, and Facebook for another couple minutes. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or comments. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Our heat tracker here, probably not going to add much, if any, more days of 90 degrees or hotter for this point in the year. But I wanted to alert you next week as we look ahead. Has a decent chance of being above average there in that kind of deeper orange coloring. Tropics still a little bit active. We got Nigel out there staying away from land. Could be a major hurricane by the kind of middle part of this week. And that one area we'll watch in the orange, that's a moderate chance of developing in the next 7 days. And if we do see a named tropical storm develop, it would be Ophelia. So keep that in mind right there. Sunset times getting earlier and earlier, and our day length from sunrise to sunset getting toward the 12-hour mark as we get toward the equinox. And here's your pollen update. I'm feeling weeds and mold. My fellow allergy sufferers, you're not alone. And again, our social media channels to follow us on all three there. All right, in the last minute, let me show you our rainfall deficit. Southern Page County and even down near Waynesboro in that kind of red pixelation could use about 4, maybe a little over 4 inches of rain to catch up to where we should be. It's been that dry in the last 30 days. So that's just to fill in the rainfall deficit in the last 30 days. Drought outline here, west of town, that's D2, severe drought. And the lighter orange outline, that's D1, moderate drought. That's the wider area. And the shadings indicate changes since the last week. Yellows are drier than a week earlier. Greens, we've seen a little more greens this week. That's a change in the positive, a little wetter than last week. And gray means no change since the last report. All right, let me leave you in the last 30 seconds with our forecast at a glance. Going to be fantastic this week as we get our welcome rain chances out here by sunrise tomorrow for most of us. Maybe some late sprinkles into the early morning east of town, but sun will establish itself very quickly, even if you wake up with some sprinkles a shower or some clouds tomorrow morning. Check out the temperatures this week. The dew points are going to be amazing. Please get outside. Wear sunscreen midday still this time of year. Cooler temperatures do not mean less UV. And radar should, again, here it is, still active tonight, but should clear up by sunrise tomorrow for most of us. Chris, tomorrow morning sunrise could be a little bit cloudy. Head west of town if you need a cloud-free sky. That's kind of my feeling, where it could be a little more cloud-free, higher probability. And yep, Charlene, hang in there with your allergies. And luckily, Ophelia, if you're thinking about the color purple, that hopefully will not get named, but we'll see. We do have that moderate area potentially developing. And then we've got Scott. Thank you too. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook, from YouTube. That's fantastic, Scott. And see you next week. Carol, David, see you next week. All right, everyone, take care and tune in next Sunday for a weekly Sunday Sunset Chat several minutes earlier. Sorry to say we're losing that later sunsets as we get toward the equinox. I'm Camden Walker. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Take care for now. Bye-bye.